Hey everyone, on this episode of Scrap Value Garage, we rescue this abandoned 70 Plymouth Valiant race car, get it running, driving, fix some stuff, and run an entire 6-hour Enduro at our local track on the road course with some success, at least for our standards. Well, here she is. Honestly, I'm kind of shocked how bad it is. I guess I haven't been over here in a while. Won't lie, I'm afraid of anything on, near, under, or around this car right now. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. You can see the last time, it's probably the last event it ran was New Jersey in 16. Lived in the garage for a little while, but ran out of space, and here it sits. Cage is rusty. It's pretty dry. Oh, not back there. Let's uncover this thing the rest of the way and see what we got to work with. That's the straps that used to be holding the tarp on, so they're doing a lot of good. This was off the F100 when I bought it. Let's go through this.
Is that where the battery is?
Yeah. Weight distribution, yo. I'm afraid to open this. Oh, there's a transmission in here. Oh man, we got all sorts of goodies. We got a transmission, we got headers, we got louvers, jack stands. Did you say you need jack stands? Trunk actually looks pretty good, other than all the mouse debris. Except I can't get the lid off the battery box. Oh, that's great. There's been mice inside of there. Man, that was a nice battery. That was an Interstate.
You got 2 rads. That's what's wrong. You need a ground.
Such a terrible idea.
Are you gonna race it?
So, Dominion is doing the 6-hour Enduro thing. That's open to U cars, any cars, and Lemons cars. I was like, this thing's slow as crap, but we haven't gotten to do anything with it, so I might as well run it. I need to buy new belts, and I think I need to put in a window net. Felt cute. Might put on YouTube later. I don't know.
It says it'll do 1,500 amps.
Oh man, this poor car.
Oh,
Thanks, Captain Obvious. Yes. I'm out of fuel in the carburetor. This thing, I mean,
it's more reliable than your F-150.
So I know this thing is not going to be competitive in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
I mean, only the fact that I'm holding a jar of gas, but I didn't really jump, did I? Yep.
What was that?
That was a flame.
Ready?
Yeah. That was all the fuel you dumped outside. not getting fuel up to the fuel pump for some reason. So with the Valiant up on the lift, we can see that things are not horrible, but not great either. The exhaust, for instance, has gotten kinked and bent up into the steering linkage and broken off back there. The rust structurally isn't too bad. There's a couple spots in the pans that need attention. Not sure what's going on with the transmission pan and gasket. It's got quite a bit of fluid around it. Overall, the car is not too bad otherwise. The tires are shot. They're 6 years old almost. And then we need to figure out what's going on with our fuel system. So I'm suspecting maybe the rubber line back here might have something to do with it. If not, we've got an obstruction in the hard line. I don't know. That's the next thing I'm going to tackle. Let's try to get this thing fueling properly. So we've got about 3 days to the race. I'm actually starting to breathe a sigh of relief. Had one of our teammates come over this weekend, help me knock out a ton of stuff on the car. We took care of the crushed up exhaust, went through the cooling system, went through the brakes, really knocked out a bunch of small stuff. So there's actually light at the end of the tunnel now. A couple things stuff to knock out. I actually managed to break a wheel stud while taking apart the other side. Now these brakes are actually Plymouth Valiant brakes. Dodge Aspen, same thing. We used that as an upgrade. A friend of mine was getting rid of a Valiant, and we snagged a bunch of stuff off of that to upgrade this car, because this was a drum brake car with a small bolt pattern. So we used the front hub, spindles, etc., along with the rear axle from that car in this car to do the cheap upgrade. Unfortunately, what that meant is when I broke one of these studs this weekend, that I was looking for a replacement part for a 79 Plymouth Valiant, which was actually a lot harder to find than I thought it would be. Went to a couple parts stores, called a bunch of parts stores, finally found a replacement at local Napa, but I can guarantee that I was probably the only person in the world this week looking for wheel studs for a Plymouth Valiant. So keep that in mind when you start robbing parts off of donor cars, that the more obscure the donor car, the harder the replacement part is. You would think most Chryslers by this point, common parts would be easy to come by, but not this time. We're going to go ahead and throw our replacement stud in, and we should be back in business. We also managed to track down a set of decent tires locally. Tires have been harder to come by lately, especially in this size apparently. 195, 55, 15. The tires we had on the car for the last couple of races were Nittos. They were pretty decent. Unfortunately, they were like 6, 7 years old at this point, so wanted to get those off the car. Believe it or not, the best deal I found was at a local Pep Boys. They had a buy two, get two sale on Kumho tires. So these tires actually end up coming out to $42 each. So I figured that was a pretty good price. I wasn't going to beat it, and they'll serve our purposes for this weekend's Enduro. So we're going to mount those up too. So what started out as a quick inspection of the brakes and bleeding kind of turned into a bit of a debacle, but it's okay. We overcame that ordeal. Now we're going to snug things up and mount our brand new rubber, which is exciting because new tires are always fun, especially when it's for the race car. It's almost a shame putting new rubber, almost a shame putting new rubber on these old ugly wheels, but it's still exciting. Sad thing is, these tires are a year old already, but they are miles better than the dry rotted, really old rubber that was on here. It was pretty amazing how much damage the rubber actually had too. Those tires had, I think, 2 races on them, and the first race was Carolina Motorsports Park, and that track has since been resurfaced, but at that time was really, really hard on tires. I don't know what Dominion's gonna be like. It's a newer surface, so it should be pretty good. Hopefully it's a little bit easier on tires. So we made it to the local track, no problem. Dominion Raceway in Thornburg, Virginia. good group of cars. A little cool for December, but we got some U cars, some Lemons cars, and Any cars, which is kind of the local track Enduro series for the circle track. And no real issues so far. Cars checked out, made it through tech, and pretty much ready to go. We got Eddie, our lead mechanic here, make sure the car is ready to go. Randy, our semi-professional circle track driver, amateur kart racer. So this race is a 6-hour enduro. It's broken into 3 2-hour stints, and we did pretty well overall. The car did well. I was kind of surprised that we made the whole time. There was some good driving. There was some not so good driving. On our part and on the part of other teams. Everybody mostly behaved. I really expected, with the number of circle track drivers we had, for this to be kind of a complete debacle, but with a 2-mile road course, everybody was spread out pretty well. We've quickly got into rhythm, found a few cars that we were pretty competitive with, that we could race with pretty good. Battled a friend here in this Volkswagen quite a bit. 2 very different cars, but pretty closely matched, so we were kind of going at it for a while. This turn to me, it's actually a lot of fun because it's a blind left over a crest, and then it doubles back. You kind of drop down, go under this bridge. It's a little bumpy coming through here, and then down long straightaway, which for us was not so great. We really didn't have enough power, enough top end speed to do anything on the straightaway. We got passed so many times in this section. I was kind of getting tired of getting passed so much, but I mean, look at that. It's so majestic. I swear we were about scraping the rocker panels on a couple of these sections. The whole point of this really is to show that racing doesn't have to be really expensive to be a lot of fun. You know, this car was basically a free car when we built it eons ago. We did very little work to it to prep it for this race, and we just went out and turned laps and had a lot of fun. We weren't that competitive. We finished kind of mid-pack by the time there was some attrition, but you know, find a local track, find a cheap event that's going on. You know, we're kind of unique in the fact that we do road course endurance here, but even the oval track races are a lot of fun. You don't need to run up front to have fun. You don't need to have the fastest car to have fun. You don't need to spend a ton of money to have fun. Just get some friends and go race. You know, I don't really know what the future holds for this car. We've done some circle track Any car racing with it, but hopefully you'll see some more videos on this channel. And be sure to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Hey everyone, on this episode of Scrap Value Garage, we don't know what to say.